All right, welcome to Agent Prep with Lillie Hendy. Remember to tap that subscribe button and click the little bell so you get notified every time I post a new video, and go ahead and like this video. All right, so we left off as I wrote down on the entrance of this, on the notes, okay? We're gonna start out with executive contract as the vocabulary, and then exam 2 on national Q&A, and on state, that's, yes, for national, and for state Q&A exam number 3, starting out with the first question. So this is the source that I use, and as I've mentioned, it's an old source, and I did buy 2 new ones. However, these exams are awesome. So once we go through all these 4 exams, then we will start the other sources. And it's a book. And this is the table of contents. It's a book of 287 questions. It's free online, and it's also free on our group. We're starting with question 81 on the state. All right, I'm back. So question, thank you, YouTube. We will pass. Yes, you will pass. Let's see, yes, I retake it next Saturday. Okay. So let's see who passed this test. So Tanisha passed the state last week, retaking national next Wednesday. Awesome. And then Nina passed national and missed state by 1. Congrats on passing the state, Nina, and congrats to Tanisha for passing also the state. Okay, well, it was good that you continue to participate because you still learn. Okay, number 81 for state, and yes, you will pass. Red and yellow, and my Mercedes baseball cap and t-shirt. All right, continuing on with state. So yes, some of those state questions are they do jump because they're given for brokers and for salesperson, and you're graded on 30 of them, right? You need to get a 70 to pass. However, you are given 40 questions instead of 30. And there really aren't any broker rebates. We don't do any rebates. We can gift $50, okay? But no broker rebates. All right, so these are Texas state questions. I mean, I've taken the exam in 3 different states, but it's been a while, so certain things are going to be similar because there are some individuals that do come to my group from other states because they find me online. However, these apply to Texas state exam. Okay, 81. What law governs relationship between a real estate licensee and a client? Right, a client, somebody we have an agreement signed with. A, law of agency. B, Clientele Act. C, statute of limitations. D, Deceptive Trade Practices Act. So we have what? An agency relationship with someone. So I'm glad you guys are all interacting on here. And remember, you can do this on the messenger group. If you're not on the messenger group, please let me know so that I add you on there. Kelly, since you're new, I'll have to remember to add you on as Sasha. Hopefully I will find you. And you can, ask each other questions and help each other and support each other on there. You can do it on here also, except on here I have to approve everyone because, as you saw, people are posting things that they shouldn't, not very often, but it happens, and then I have to delete it. So what is the answer? See, what about brokers giving rebate to principals? I think, okay, they're not rebates. Okay, we're giving them a discount from our commission. I think there was a question about that. Also one about whether a broker in one state can give a broker in another state a referral fee. Yes, of course you can. We give referral fees to realtors anywhere in the country. Okay, that's why we want to build relationships with realtors and brokers of other cities, other states. We pay them a referral. It comes straight out of the settlement statement during the closing. And we get their W-9 form from their broker. Rebate, we can give a client a discount from our commission to pay certain costs. Like I will provide my sellers a $75 home warranty so that the home is under warranty during the listing. If there's any issue, and so that's my gift to them, is a $75, and that comes off of my commission, okay, as an expense that I am paying, and that gets paid to the home warranty company on the condition that the owner purchases a 1-year home warranty for the buyer. So they're not, they may call them rebates on the questions, but they're not necessarily a rebate. So maybe it was that called it a rebate when it really is a discount on commission, like you said. Yes, it is a discount. We can pay for certain things for them, and it has to be done within the closing settlement statement, not on the side, okay? So number 81 was A, law of agency, right? Oh, I didn't put, darn it. I have the questions at exam 4, not the state answers. Hold on. Oh, and at the end of this book, if there are certain questions that you have to study on certain topics, you can go to the end of this 287-page source, and you say, hey, well, I need to learn about property ownership. You can go and study those questions according to the question numbers on here. See, law of agency, go and study all these questions. So when you take the exam, they're going to let you know which sections you didn't pass, and you can go back like through review this book. That's another reason I like this book. And then you say you need to work on contract, then you go and study these questions. Specialty areas, go study these questions. Okay, same with the Texas. Excellent source for that. Okay, so let me get the right answers on here. So 81. There is a whole body of law and regulations that address the relationship between agents and their client. The sum total of the various legal provisions that address the agency relationship is known collectively as the law of agency. Okay, got it? 81A. Let's see, so maybe it was, yeah, you're probably right, Nina. So there are certain expenses that we can help our clients. We can reduce our commission. We can agree with the other realtor and ourselves to reduce our commission in order to cover certain costs that the seller and the buyer no longer want to negotiate or give into. So we want to fight for the transaction. We'd rather get paid something than nothing after doing all that work. So keep that in mind. Okay, number 82. Each resident broker must maintain a fixed office within Texas. What must a broker do when he or she wants to maintain multiple offices? Okay, some of this rule regulation has changed. So I'm not sure if this is going to be the correct answer on here. A, register each office location with the county clerk where the assumed name or form is filled. B, register each office location with the licensing department of Texas Real Estate Commission. C, obtain a branch office license for each location. D, employ a broker manager for each location. So we no longer need a branch office license for each location. That changed. So I don't remember on this question, so we'll go straight to the answer. So here, the Texas Real Estate License Act, TRELA, okay, and this code requires the broker to apply for and pay the required fee to obtain a branch office license for each additional office maintained by the broker. Okay, and here I had said, so according to this exam, the correct answer is C. I believe the state of Texas now removed that, so where we don't need a license at every single office. They can use the same license as long as they have the same broker name. Okay? If the name changes, then yes, it's a different name, then it requires a different license. But if it's the same company and the same broker name, then it wouldn't. But for this answer, it is C. They do have to obtain a branch office license for each location, okay? So keep that in mind. This is an old question, because these are exams from 2006. However, apply quite a bit to today. So I'm gonna make a mark on my exam answers. This was exam 3, number 82. Okay, exam number, question 83. A real estate broker routinely advises her clients to strike the provision in sales contract referring to a suit for specific performance. There you go, specific, right? She also adds to the special provisions paragraph, that's paragraph 11, that if the buyer's inspection is unsatisfactory, the buyer may terminate the contract. This broker is doing what? A, performing her fiduciary duties to her client. B, giving her clients good business advice. C, practicing law. Or D, practicing brokerage. So the first thing she does is strike the provisions in the sales contract, suit for specific performance. Can we do that? We're not attorneys, right? So is she performing her fiduciary duties to the client? Or B, giving her clients good advice? Or C, practicing law or practicing brokerage? Boy, a tricky little question. Practicing brokerage? Right. So 83, okay, she's practicing law, and we cannot do that unless the broker is also a licensed attorney in the state of Texas, or they may be able to be licensed in another state. It doesn't say they have to be licensed in Texas, but they are a licensed attorney, then they can write legal contracts and make changes. If we're just a broker, no. So 83C, she was practicing law. 84, the Texas Real Estate Broker Lawyer Committee is made up of A, 6 real estate brokers and 6 lawyers appointed by the governor. B, 6 real estate brokers appointed by TREC, 6 lawyers appointed by the president of the state bar, and 1 public member appointed by the governor. C, 6 real estate brokers, 3 lawyers, and 3 public members appointed by the governor. D, 6 real estate brokers, 6 lawyers, and 1 public member, all appointed by the governor. So who licensed who? You want to ask yourself that first. So I'll give you one clue. The governor selects a citizen, a public citizen. So 84. Okay, I have a B. So there are 13 members. 6 brokers, 6 attorneys, or 6 lawyers, and 1 public person. Now to get this correctly is who were they appointed by? So I have somebody that said D, so I have BBD. They're appointed by their particular board. The broker lawyer committee writes and drafts promulgated contract forms to, oops. Unless this broker is also, well, heck, what question am I on? 84, right? So the broker lawyer committee writes and drafts promulgated contracts forms to be used. Wait a minute, am I at the right answers? We are on exam 3. Okay, they're not giving the full answer, okay? It is 6 real estate brokers. So they're made up by 6 brokers appointed by TREC, 6 lawyers appointed by the president of the state bar, and 1 public member appointed by the governor. And the answer is just saying that they're the ones that draft the promulgated contract forms used by real estate licenses. Okay, well, that's a true statement, okay? However, they didn't answer who appoints who. So the answer is B. The governor only appoints the public member. 84 B. So hi, Mondo. So thank you for joining. So do you get why it is not D? Each of the brokers appointed by TREC, the attorneys appointed by the state board, president, and the public person by the governor. This answer didn't explain it completely. Okay, number 85. Who does a buyer employ when signing a buyer rep agreement? A salesperson, B, a broker, C, a principal, or D, a consumer? So who does the buyer employ when they sign a buyer representation agreement? So all agreements belong to whom? The broker, right? So this answer is 85. You know what? These answers don't look. Yeah, they are. So although a salesperson may solicit the listing, which we're the ones that solicit the listing typically, the buyer rep agreement from a seller or buyer, the client appoints a broker since all activities of the salesperson are done in and through the sponsoring broker, right? You're going to be interviewing a lot of sponsoring brokers. And I ask that you give me an opportunity to interview with myself and EXP. I'm not a broker, however, I'm with EXP Realty. Okay, so you're going to be interviewing different sponsoring brokers. Everything belongs to that broker, and we get paid through that broker. So once you pass your exam, or even now, you've been getting calls, emails about it, just like you received an email from me inviting to this class. And so I do this class, and I ask that you all allow to talk to me about EXP Realty. It's not just for seasoned realtors. EXP is also for beginners. A mentor is assigned to you. Okay, so 85B. Did I write the answer? Yes. Okay, do you get that, Vernica? It's not, the salesperson is the one that is signing it, and we're the associate signing on behalf of the broker. The agency agreement is with the broker, not with us as salespersons. I was a broker in Oregon, but I'm not here in Texas. 86. So remember here, these are Texas questions, and you've got your Texas thinking cap on. 86. A closing occurs on July 5th according to the terms of the agreement created by using the Texas Real Estate Commission Track Form 20-6 form, which of the following statements is true? A, the buyer will be responsible for paying the ad valorem tax for July 5th. B, the seller is responsible for paying the ad valorem tax for July 5th. C, the ad valorem taxes will be prorated to the day of closing. D, the seller will pay the ad valorem taxes for the current year prior to closing. Remember earlier I said that their property taxes are prorated, right? When it asked about which lien has a priority, and it was property taxes has a priority to a mortgage, and I said, you know, we always have to pay property taxes, and they're prorated at closing. So it closes on July 5th, so it's in the middle of the year. So who pays what? If they're prorated, not if, when they're prorated. So is the buyer responsible for July 5th or the seller responsible for July 5th? Or and you select the best true statement. They will be prorated to the day of closing, and the seller will pay the ad valorem for the entire year. Well, no, he may have paid them, so they'll get a credit. Okay, I have 85C, 85A, 85B. Okay, I'm sorry, 86. 86C, 86C. $86B. They are prorated. However, which one is the best answer? Proration paragraph establishes that all items subject to proration will be prorated through the day of closing. This makes the seller liable for the tax bill from January 1st through the entire day of closing. Okay, the closing statement will show a debit to the seller and a credit to the buyer. A credit to the buyer because they are getting the money from the seller so that they pay the full year when it comes due. Okay, so the seller is responsible for paying July 5th. That's the most accurate answer. They are prorated to the day of closing. However, the best answer and accurate answer is who pays for it. Okay, 86B. And these questions can be tricky like that, okay? They want you to select the most accurate answer. Okay, do you guys follow? Don't the seller or buyer claim the day of closing? The seller claims the day of closing. The buyer is responsible starting the day after. So the buyer will be responsible for paying ad valorem tax for July 5th? No. The seller is responsible for paying the ad valorem tax for July 5th? Yes. Ad valorem taxes will be prorated to the day of closing. That is a correct statement. However, according to Real Estate Track Commission 20-6, okay, which of the following statements is true? It's seller. We already know that they are prorated. Okay, so what happens after they're prorated? Who pays that particular date? That's why they're specifying that particular day. Okay, won't be on that. Okay, so 86B. Okay, and so what have you been reading? My experience, seller pays because they still own it and it may not close. Okay, so they pay up to the day of closing. So what do your questions specify? Okay, because it is the seller who pays the day of closing. Although it's negotiable, okay? However, if it's not specified, seller pays day of closing, buyer starts the next day. Okay. No problem, Nina. I almost feel like getting off because my throat is hurting now. That's why I would love to do these in person. We all take turns. All right, 87. Dave gets a widower. Dave Gates, a widower, died without leaving a will or other instructions. Okay, did Nina say, who said they were taking their exam next? Somebody is taking their exam next Wednesday. Was that, okay, Nina takes it next Saturday. So I don't know if she means this coming Saturday or the next one, next week Saturday. And Tanisha takes the national next Wednesday. Okay, so 2 individuals are taking the exam this coming week. Okay, so number 87. Dave Gates, a widower, died without leaving a will. Okay, intestate, within, without, or other instruction. His surviving children may acquire ownership of his real estate holdings by how? A, adverse possession, B, eminent domain, C, escheat, or D, law of intestate succession. So intestate, okay, is within, without a will, is how one of my students remembered it, because it says intestate means no will, without a will. So I don't know if you're following me. If you can remember some acronym or something that goes along with it. So the surviving children may acquire ownership of their real estate holdings by what? 87. The intestate law. For those who die intestate without a will, Texas probate law defines how a descendant's property will be distributed to his or her qualifying heirs. The statutory provisions that define who is eligible to receive the descendant's property and what percentage they are to receive is known as the law of intestate succession or the law of descent. To die without a will is to die intestate. See, without, within, out, without, within, intestate. To die without a will is to die testate. So 87D. Very good, Mondo, Vernica, and Kelly. Even though it shows Sasha Bunny. Sasha Bunny is Kelly. 87D. All right, number 88. I'll stop a few minutes early in case you have any questions, okay? Number 88, when a salesperson leaves the association of a broker for any reason, how soon must the broker return the salesperson's license to the Texas Real Estate Commission, known as TREC, and notify the salesperson in writing that the sponsorship is terminated? Now it's just by the click of a button, okay? It doesn't take any time. So as soon as we inform TREC, we go online and we can say this is our new sponsor, and it goes bing, and your sponsor can go and pull the license. So is it A, immediately, B, within 5 days, C, within 10 days, D, within 20 days? Whenever you leave one broker, you're done, right? Just when the divorce is signed, it's done. Immediately. Now, some divorces do take a long time. However, once they're signed, it's done. immediately. Okay, so 88, the Trella Act requires the broker to return the license to the Real Estate Commission until the salesperson becomes duly sponsored by a broker. So immediately, 88D, because the other broker needs to have the right to take the license right away. But the way they worded it, it said, requires the broker to return the license to Trek until the salesperson becomes duly sponsored. Well, not until. They return it right away, and it's with Trek until another broker pulls the license, okay? Once that realtor salesperson lets the other broker know, hey, my license is back with Trek, you can now pull it. Nowadays, they just click a button, and you're gonna see when you pass your exam, Trek is going to put you in inactive status. You go in there and let them know that you have assigned a broker, and the broker will then go in and click automatically and get your license. So 88A. Okay, so that's it for tonight. Let's see, we have one more, no, there's oops. Yeah, that's it for tonight. So next week, keep in mind, I'm not here on Saturday. I'm in a training program all weekend. So we will start with question 89 on page 226 next week on Wednesday. So watch out for my reminder. If I don't send a reminder, more than likely we're not having a class, or I forgot. So you can always message me. Okay, guys, any questions before we call it quits? And for those of you that are taking it next week and we don't get a chance to get a test, I'll put a prayer in for you. And remember to say, I passed, I passed, I passed. Okay, believe it, ask it, believe it. Put it in God's hands. If you're not a Christian, then disregard it. But ask for guidance. Relax, eat and sleep the night before. Keep your coffee intake low so that you don't get nervous. Get there with sufficient time. Take off early so that you're not rushing and stressed to get there and get all freaked out before you go in. Sit there, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and focus and relax. Ask for guidance and ask for a simple exam, an easy exam, and affirm. Continue affirming every day multiple times. I passed, I passed, I passed, and get the confidence, and you will pass. Okay, with that said, thanks for attending, and until next time, guys and gals, catch you later. That'll be next Wednesday. Study, study, study. All right, welcome to Agent Prep with Lillie Hendy. Remember to tap that subscribe button and click the little bell so you get notified every time I post a new video, and go ahead and like this video.